One of the most common questions that I get when it comes to Airbnb hosting is simply how to start. So a lot of people know you can make a ton of money on Airbnb hosting, but they simply just don't know these step-by-step instructions of actually how to start. So what we're going to be going over today is everything you need to do before creating your listing, before actually buying property or renting property, basically the prerequisite requirements that you need to do just in order to get your feet off the ground. So number one, guys, and a lot of people bypass this and then they get themselves in a jam. So number one is probably the most important thing. It's going to be to do your research and to plan ahead, because there are states, there are areas in the country that don't even allow Airbnbs. So you need to be able to do market research to not just figure out what's allowed, but also to figure out what areas are going to be profitable for you. You don't want to go invest a bunch of money, your time, your energy, furnishing a unit, renting a unit, getting the contract signed, purchasing property or purchasing land, just to find out, hey, I'm actually in way too competitive of a field, or I can't charge enough for my Airbnb in this specific area to even meet my overhead costs or make my rent or my mortgage and earn a profit. So that's number one. You want to make sure that you're profitable. I have a tool that I've linked in my other videos. If you use the link I'll put in the description, you can try it for free, but it's called AirDNA. You've probably heard of it before. So let me go over and I'm going to show you exactly what it is. Let's say I don't have a property yet and I want to research different areas. Okay, so like I said, some areas are going to be more profitable than others. Let's just look up West Palm Beach for a second. I'm going to move my face bubble out of the way. So we're going to be able to see this area and we're going to be able to see what the projected revenue is. Now, if you're looking at properties, you can go in and edit everything to your liking. You can change how many beds or baths it has, how many guests you want to allow. This type of market research will help you know what type of property to actually look for and what type of property you can actually turn a profit on. It's going to tell you additional things like what you can charge for your daily rate. So this is also kind of a pricing calculator. It will help you know how to set up your pricing. It's also going to give you a ballpark of operating expenses. This is based on other units in the area, other Airbnbs, your net operating income. You can do a financial calculator if you have other expenses or if you know specifically what those expenses are. You can plug in all of that there. It's going to tell you exactly the expected revenue. As you can see, Florida is going to be lower months and then higher months. It's more of a seasonal Airbnb, so you want to make sure that you're still able to bring in profit no matter what time of the year it is. But you can scroll down. AirDNA has a ton of different features for your market research. You can look at other listings that are going to be in the same area or similar to yours and see how people decorated them, what they put for the title, what they put in the description, how they marketed those listings. Just so you stay competitive. And these are going to be some of the top listings that they let you see here. So you get access to all of that, all these listings that are on Airbnb. Okay, so once you have your information like that, let's say you do all your research, that's step one. Okay, so let me finish up this one, then we'll go to step two. But you want to define your target audience and tailor your property and services. So if you're right next to a football stadium, you might want to tailor the experience in the property to that, because maybe most of your guests are going to be coming for that. If you're right next to a concert venue, musical venue, something like that, you just want to make sure you kind of understand your audience of who is traveling to those locations and why. Are they families? Are they bachelorette parties? What type of target audience is going to be coming there? And then create a business plan, okay? A lot of people skip this step too. Create a business plan outlining your specific goals, your target market, your audience, your pricing strategy, and your marketing plan, okay? It's good to have these things in place before you actually go about creating your listing, just so you can say, hey, is this on par with my business plan? Are we all tracking in the right direction, okay? Step number two, guys, is super important as well. This is going to be down to your legal and regulatory compliance. So all your state, all your city laws when it comes to short-term rentals, okay? So you want to familiarize yourself with local zoning laws, and this is as easy as going on Google and typing in your city, your state, or your county, and looking up short-term rentals in your city or your state, okay? You're going to want to look off of the actual government websites. That's going to give you the most accurate information. and you're going to see what they allow, what licenses you need to get, what permits you need to obtain. Review any homeowners association. So if you have a specific HOA that you live in, they might have laws against Airbnbs, and you run into this all the time. I know people that have gone out and bought property and furnished it and decorated it for an Airbnb, and then they go to list it and they realize that their HOA doesn't even allow Airbnbs, and so their unit gets shut down. Okay, so try to do things, try to follow these steps. That way you don't run into any of these major headaches, because now they've already purchased a property or they're renting a property and they have this overhead. They have to make a profit, but legally they cannot even rent that property out. So they have to change their entire game plan. Step 3, there's only 5 steps in this, I meant to tell you earlier, but step 3 is going to be property preparation. You want to prepare your property for guests by ensuring it meets safety, cleanliness, and comfort standards. Furnish and decorate it to appeal to your target market. Install keyless entry systems. These are things that you need to do kind of after you've already gotten the unit. Step 4, you want to look up insurance and liability coverage. Okay, so your homeowner's insurance policy is probably not going to cover you in any type of short-term rental situation. What you can do is, I'll put this link as well in the description, but this is one of the only companies that offers specific short-term rental coverage. So they're one of the best in the business. I've been on the phone with them. I've looked at their policies. And this is something I think is a great option for anybody who's looking to do short-term renting specifically. Your homeowner's policy is just not going to cover you. And you can jump on the phone and ask them if they cover short-term rental insurance, but they're going to tell you no. Okay, it's just a different type of coverage. You want to make sure you are covered for short-term rentals. So I'll put that in the description. I'll actually just open it up for you so you can see, but you can get a free quote with the link that I just put. So all you do is do a 3-minute quote, or you can call them as well. But their 3-minute quote is just you entering in some details about the property and what you need, and it's that simple. They give you a quote right then and there on the computer. So that is super easy. Okay, step 5, guys, is something, again, that you need to look at. I kind of mentioned it earlier, but you can use AirDNA for this as well. Your pricing strategy. Research comparable listings in your area and determine competitive pricing. I know I kind of covered that previously, but this is where you just jump in and you look up a certain area, you research different areas, their pricing strategy, how much they're making. So this is something you wouldn't be able to see on Airbnb, but with AirDNA, it basically runs all the stats, it runs all the numbers for you and just gives you those insider secrets. So you can see how much they're actually making, how many days they have that unit available, meaning like how much it's actually booked out for, their occupancy rate, how much they're charging per day. So when you are in the planning stages, you're going to want to know how much you're actually making per day, because you have expenses, you have utility bills, you have mortgages or rents, you have the cost of all the furnishings that it took you to actually set up your Airbnb unit. You want to make sure that you are actually going to be profitable in this business before you just wing it, get a property in an area that you don't know much about, set your nightly rate to whatever you come up with. It's very, very easy nowadays to lose money in the Airbnb business. So you want to make sure you do things the right way. Just go to AirDNA. Like I said, if you use the link below, it's a free service. So you can use it for free and do all this research. Okay, so that's it, guys. Those are your 5 steps. Basically, do your research, look up your local laws, figure out your pricing strategy, do market research on the area and the unit, other competitive units or rentals that are going to be in the area, and then make sure you are covered with your insurance. Okay, so those are the 5 things that you guys need to do. If you have any questions or comments, please drop a comment below. Like this video and subscribe to this channel to get more Airbnb tips.